Hello everybody, we are going to continue with Napoleon Bonaparte. In this class we are going to divide the different fields of his government, his educational plan, what he thought of religion, and his role as a statesman. As regards his educational plan, the first aspect that we have to consider is that it was a great failure. And there are different aspects why his educational plan failed. First of all, the problem of all governments, not only Napoleon, because this problem is shared in different countries, even in our country, Argentina. We teachers know what small budget is. So he assigned a very small budget to his educational plan, and that is why it was one of the causes of the failure of his plan. And the second one, it's even more complicated than the first. Indoctrination. Indoctrination is a plan of government to impose ideas and beliefs through classes, through education, and through texts. For example, in Argentina, in times of Juan Domingo Perón, there are different texts that prove that indoctrination was through education. In the case of Napoleon, students had to learn by heart his life. They had to parrot events and achievements of Napoleon as a colonel or a general brigadier, that is to say his military career, and why he was a national hero. And that is why we can say that it was a failure. He created elementary schools, we say he created high schools, also he created teacher training colleges and founded the University of Paris, but in most aspects the plan failed because of these causes. Obviously, this indoctrination was from very early age in elementary schools. Connected with religion, Napoleon imposed Catholicism in France. It was the official religion of France. He imposed Catholicism, but you don't have to confuse because he allowed other religion. So it was not a persecution against people who were not Catholics. And he also re-established the strong bond between church and the state. If you remember, when we talk about absolute monarch of the monarch Louis XVI, the Catholic Church supported the king because it was convenient for them. Well, Napoleon knew that French were Catholic and were religious people. That is why he re-established this bond between church and state. And the statesman, from the very beginning, when he set up the consulate and when he named the first consul and decided everything, obviously he was a tyrant. He was an absolute leader. For example, there were different achievements that the French Revolution gained, especially in the field of rights for people. Well, he abolished trial by jury. He abolished trial by jury because he was the one who decided who lived or died. That is why the right to live, the right for life was abolished, and that was, we can say that he was a coming back to Louis XVI. He imposed strong censorship, not only on people, because everyone suspected of speaking against him was taken to prison. But he also went further. He imposed press censorship, and he closed all opposite papers to his government. And as regards law, he created laws. As we said, as the first consul, he created all laws. So he was a tyrant. And people started to know the real Napoleon after a few years of his government. He was an absolute, he was tyrant, and he abolished all the rights that were achieved by the French Revolution. That was Napoleon as a statesman. Next class, we are going to talk about the wars, the costly wars that Napoleon had in his term.